Hello, welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever here on Sideshow Network. This is the show where we look through our comic book collection and talk about how absolutely wretched and shitty it is because it's cheap and painful and all those other great things.
Yeah.
And this is a very special one because we are here at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. By the way, I'm Shawn.
And I'm Jen.
And we are joined by a great man, a podcaster in his own right. He is a journalist, a writer. He's everything.
Everything.
You are literally everything.
I am your everything.
Yeah.
And he's the host of SUCCOTASH, Mr. Marc Hershon.
Hey, good to be.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here with you guys.
And it's a pleasure to have you here. And this is actually kind of what the book we're about to do is. It's a kind of almost like a request.
Yes,
From you.
That's right.
A tacit request.
Because we have talked about my beloved Creeper before.
And I had Creeper. And actually, we were going to tape this. We're taping this on a Sunday. We were going to tape this on Saturday when I had some time. And it turned out we had a Hawk and Dove that we were going to do. And Creeper's on the cover.
Yes.
And he's like, painting stuff. And it's like he's
We're
all
like, oh,
jumping
this is
on their
gonna be
heads. And we're like, great, we're going to do this. And
Doesn't show up to the last panel.
he literally shows up to the last panel.
Yeah. So we decided to switch directions and get you like a Creeper full episode or issue.
And this was fantastic. I mean, he teams up with Batman.
It's a brave and the bold.
And you tell me, after I read this, because this was in my mind to begin with, but after I read this particular issue, Creeper is DC's Deadpool. Am I wrong?
He's kind of.
Well, he's weak, but I mean, he's
could be a case for that.
wisecracking, and
Yeah.
he's just
But a lot of heroes, and I mean, granted, this is 19.
Yeah. So it's Brave and the Bold, starring Batman and the Creeper.
Brave and
Brave and the Bold number 178
right
from September.
from September 1981.
1980.
But he's irreverent like Deadpool.
He is. Yes.
I mean, at one point in this particular issue, he refers to Batman as BM.
Oh well, he's not the first time I think he's done that. And actually, I think this is because I think there's another
This is the
issue.
second issue where we've run across somebody referring to Batman as BM.
But was it? Oh, it was. That's right. It was Elongated Man.
Yes.
The Elongated Man also called him BM, and this is the issue where Batman puts his foot down.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Bat foot down.
Oh yeah.
No more BM.
No more BM. I am not.
But
I
he's
do want to ask before we start. So, you love the Creeper.
I
How
only
long? What made you get into the Creeper? Was there an issue that was your favorite?
well, when I was a kid, I think I saw the origin issue. And when you talk about an issue of the Creeper never had his own book.
Yeah.
He was always like the
He
last.
did.
Well,
He had to beware the Creeper.
yeah, but it didn't start that way. He started as like one of those 4-page.
It was a showcase.
Yeah, where they ran, they said, well, we got 4 more pages to fill. What are we going to do? Let's put the Creeper in there. And it was like this. I have this distinct memory of seeing his origin,
Right.
where he was helping some scientist who implanted him with the thing that lets him turn into the Creeper,
Right.
and it seems like they changed him over the course of time. Because remember when he first was a Creeper, he had some sort of narcotic drug in his system.
Yeah.
And when he would switch in and out from being the Creeper, the drug would go away.
And it was kind of supposed to. It kind of has gone between him being like dual personalities to him actually being like a physical like more of like a. It's gone between being like a psychological thing to like being a like a mechanical thing.
Yes.
Because like he's got the device that he hits and he goes. Whoosh.
Yeah, but he has full consciousness of who he is. It's not like a crazy person. He's
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like he's being, like, taken over
they kind
by
of
an
took the fun out of him.
Yeah. But this particular book,
This is it might be a little too real.
it's a little bit like real life.
So we start this book with Batman just hanging out in Gotham, getting just like assaulted by paper.
Yes, because he's like, oh my God, there's almost no wind, but now there's wind.
Yeah, so he's like running around off the rooftops, and people have been
They've been getting murdered.
People
Yeah.
be getting murdered. College kids getting murdered.
and also
A few drunks.
a
Few
few
drunks.
drunks, a few drunks, and some college kids, which kind of might actually be the same thing. And he keeps finding like
And-
paper dolls at the scene.
And man, Batman's dialogue, his talking to himself in this issue is so lame.
It's ridiculous.
It's like he has, like this passage here. What in heaven's name is the connection? That's how Batman thinks to himself.
It's
what in heaven's name? That
really
just doesn't seem
weird
right.
to read some of these like older issues that's so far away from modern Batman.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, who is this character?
Yeah.
So he's thinking about it, and then there's also, as he's like, I don't know what to do, I gotta solve this crime. We cut to this crazy person on TV who's basically a talking head, and he gets up there and he tells everybody what's wrong with America.
That's right.
He's basically Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And he's just
And he's on he's got his own TV show Commentary with Dr. Clayton Wetley, PhD. Can't forget that.
Oh, the other I thought
W. Ham.
interesting note at back a panel or two is the murderer always leaves a chain of paper dolls at the scene of the crime.
See, but the thing is, I don't know if this comes up until later. I think it's just literally the only time where Batman's just like, ooh, paper dolls.
It does. No,
they do mention it again later, but it's just sort of like one of those things where you're like.
But once you find out what the source of the murder is, where's the paper dolls?
It doesn't even make sense.
It makes no sense.
Why are they here? But
Yeah. So anyway, he's this guy is on Jack Ryder stage. Jack Ryder, of course, is a hard-hitting reporter.
yes, drawn like every dude in comics back then, very generic white guy. You could pretty much say, like, if you just put that this is Bruce Wayne, like,
Yes.
I'd believe it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's just tall in a suit with dark hair. Like,
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it was Bruce Wayne for a second. I was
It's
like,
just
what's
square
Bruce doing here?
jawed.
he's a little rangier than Bruce Wayne. Other than that,
Thinner, maybe.
but he definitely has that Clark Kent hue of blue-black hair.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
He's got that coif. So basically, he
Talking to the head of the network, and he's like, why did you give this guy a show? He's like stirring up this rage and this hatred, and the guy's like, it's great for ratings. And then he just walks away.
Yeah, and then his coworker shows up, and she's like,
All she does in this book, by the way, is run. Like, literally the only thing
she
she's
sprints
doing
by
is,
him
like,
every time.
Yes.
sprinting and screaming. Because she's supposed to be like a hard-hitting reporter who's just trying to get a story. And
Yes.
it's like,
This
Tell me a story about jogging. That's all I'm doing.
And I had forgotten, or maybe I never knew until I saw this in this issue, that he had given up his job as a TV anchorman
yeah.
and to take up a job in security for the TV station.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's
Wait,
what it
is
says.
that what he's doing here? Is he?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
that
that-
could have
that-
been your show. You're the one who gave up newscasting.
That's how
Oh, okay.
in security.
That's how
remember?
Wetley got the job.
Yeah.
So they gave us.
So this is
they,
all the creeper's fault.
it's literally his fault.
All
It
the
is.
people who are dead.
He's
is the
like,
creeper's fault.
I want, but why is he still? I mean, I get he's still wearing a suit. But he's still dressed like Vince McMahon, but as like security.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, so here's actually one of my favorite parts. So like this girl's like, ha, I'm running by you. There's a body in the street, right?
Yeah, she's like, I'm so excited, dead bodies, yay!
Dead bodies, yeah. And then he's like, well, time to be the creeper. So he just literally just kind of like,
He jumps-
He looks like he's trying to do a hurdle. Like he is doing the hurdles here because he's just like his legs are so far
Well,
apart.
the creeper's abilities are so undefined.
well, basically he has super strength, super agility, super healing,
fabulousness.
super healing, and super
Fabulousness. Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, and he can apparently leap out a window of undetermined height. We're not sure how high this window, but it seems like a skyscraper.
I'm assuming he's jumping off the top of the Sears Tower.
It has to be.
In this one.
It seems from the landscape around him, the cityscape, it seems like it's pretty high.
Yeah.
He's just jumping out the window.
Yeah.
He's literally above the moon.
Yeah.
He's like jumping out of a tower in Dubai.
Yeah.
He's like falling
It's
from
that one in the Fast and the Furious where they did the car thing through it.
That's what
through
Vin
those
Diesel
buildings.
looks at it and goes, I ain't doing that. I got a family. so anyway, so he becomes a creeper and he's like, hey, let's go find out what's going on here. And
See him.
people see him and they're all like, he's a freak, which I like when these crowds get all riled up and everybody just see
Yeah.
random people and they're just just call people freaks.
Right.
Like just
It's
one person.
You live in a city where Batman hangs out on the regular and you're upset
About the creeper.
About the creeper. Like, no.
Batman's okay. He hangs out with that boy with the shorts, but this guy's a freak. Look at his shorts.
Yeah.
That guy's wearing a boa. Stone him.
What is he, a drag queen jumping out there? How dare they?
Yeah.
Anyways.
So they start trying to stone him. He
Oh, they
wrote,
were they find?
I don't know. They found a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, he's very acrobatic, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to find rocks on the street.
Apparently
Yeah, that's-
Gotham is filled
Apparently
with
Gotham
rocks.
is just filled with cobblestones you can just throw at people.
That's right. And a lot of paper, as we're about to find out.
Tons
Oh
of
God,
them.
yeah.
So as that's going on, Batman is just like being Batman, thinking
Now-
about like solving things.
If I can pause for just 1 minute, because as you flip the page here, we're seeing an advertisement for Grit,
Oh,
America's newspaper.
Did you sell Grit?
I didn't, but I always was fascinated by the Grit ads because there were some that got really detailed, and Grit I saw it once, I can't remember where, but it's folded in a weird square.
Okay.
You know, and it's like, how do they get the guys to fold these things like this? And who subscribes to Grit? I don't ever know anyone who got it.
so weird.
But
Isn't it like a pyramid
I think we
scheme of
should-
some sorts? Wasn't that like the whole deal?
I think we should subscribe. I think we can still get it,
we
right?
just, yeah, I'm sure if we
Probably.
just cut this out and send it to the address.
We can send it-
get
Well, no, now you can get Grit online, grit.com.
Oh, good.
Are you serious? Do
No.
they fold the computer into a series?
If you log on your phone, just becomes like a square.
Is the villain of this book just a Grit newspaper?
It could be. I think it's product placement.
So Batman's just like, being Batman. And he hears somebody being attacked. So, of course, he, like, jumps down and he's like, I gotta help you, whatever. And as he's trying to save this woman from being attacked by what we right now see as some sort of amorphous shape.
Yes, it's just a dark
It's like the
shape.
Shadow Thief, actually.
Yeah, it does. The Creeper shows up to help out. And
After jumping from the highest building ever.
I'm assuming he just fell from space.
And in the last panel on this page, we get just a look at this hideous monster.
Paper monster.
It's
It's-
it looks ridiculous.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like if a KKK hat grew a body.
If the KKK, if you got a KKK hat out of a Mad magazine, that's what and it had legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had legs. So
That's exactly how
that's what it is. And it apparently also has like glowy eyes.
Yes. And it's criminal scum. We must cleanse ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got these. Yeah.
It's all about cleansing. That's what it
Yes,
wants
lots
to
of
do.
cleansings.
So here's the thing. Okay, so he wraps up the creeper like some sort of like boa constrictor because the paper is really strong.
He's just folding them up like a burrito or like a sandwich.
Yes.
And what does Batman do?
Well, first of all, the creeper just shouts for Batman like a little pussy. As soon as he gets
Help me,
wrapped,
Batman.
there's no attempt to even get out.
He's like BM, and it's like, no, what?
I
you need
was
me?
gonna help you.
You need me? He's like, no, I just did a BM in my pants. All this paper wrapped me up.
So he like yells for him, and it's like, and Batman's like, "I'll help you," whatever. And then as Batman's trying to help him, it just looks like the paper cone that like is around
Yeah.
the bottom of ice cream cones, just like getting thrown at him.
Right, exactly.
Like so, I can't. But apparently they hurt,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know why.
Well,
it hurts so badly.
Well, Creeper here says that he's wrapped up in this paper. It's suddenly hard as steel. So apparently
Some sort of
the,
magical property.
the monster can do something with the paper.
Oh my god! I just realized this. This little paper guy has a noose hand. He just folded one of his hands into a noose.
Oh, well, because you know why? Because he talks about later how like somebody was killed by a noose, but there was no rope burns.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that's right. Batman says there were paper burns, which I don't know what that means.
How is this guy not killing everybody with just random paper cuts?
Exactly.
This should have been called like the death of 1,000 cuts or something, and it wasn't.
But fortunately, Batman, or BM as we now know
Oh, yes,
him,
Batman.
has a lighter.
Yes.
Apparently, like a laser lighter.
And he burns the paper creature.
Because fucking it's paper. You should
Yeah.
burn it.
But not only that, but like Batman says, I don't kill. But like if it's a sentient paper, or like this could be an alien, we don't know yet.
Right.
It's okay, he'll kill it. It's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever,
he
just burn it.
doesn't
It's
give
whatever.
a shit.
No.
It's not human, so it's okay.
That's
He does
right.
not give a flying shit.
But it puts itself out, releases the creeper, and it runs away.
And apparently, so the panel on the next page starts out with them in the Batcave. Apparently, Batman has no problem with a creeper knowing where a Batcave is.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, he brings everybody over. It's fine.
Everybody literally knows that he's Bruce Wayne and where he lives.
Yeah, I've often said that the list of people who do not know that he is Bruce Wayne is shorter than the list of people that do.
That's true.
Yeah, so they're bullshitting about the Batcave, and he's calling him BM, and he's like, Creeper, don't call me BM anymore, because everybody that's reading this comic is laughing their ass off.
Yep.
And the creeper can't sit still. He's jumping on everything in the Batcave, all the big trophies.
I wish he would have just kind of rode. Yeah, I was about to jump on the penny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I wish he could have just kind of rode the penny like a little like.
Yeah.
You know.
That would have been awesome.
So Anyway, so now we get a bunch, get more of this jackass,
The Whetley dude.
Whetley
Yeah.
man.
Back at the TV station.
You gotta, like,
and we find out there's now a news opening at the station as well. And
Yes.
the girl reporter is going for it, wants
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah, because she's
And again, she's
running for
running.
it. Yeah, she's running for this job.
She's got a bit fit, and she's trying to get all of her steps in.
That's right.
Yeah. She's trying to get all her steps in, so she's like running by, and the creeper's like, "Oh, I'll fix you," or whatever.
That's right. But Jack has the idea. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, look at
his
the
little
eyebrow.
beady eyes there. He's got something up his sleeve.
That's a Don Draper look, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very much
that's an
so.
idea eyebrow.
Yep.
That's what that is.
But then the paper man strikes again.
Where does the paper guy come from? Wait.
I don't know.
We don't
He
know.
goes out later that night.
Oh, they go on
with
a date.
Batman.
Oh, they're on
Okay, yeah.
patrol,
So,
yeah.
him and Batman and the Creeper on a date, and then Paper Guy shows up again. Oh, and he's trying to get this woman.
Yeah, why is he trying to get that random woman? Because he's like, you're criminal, you're scum. It's like, but who is this woman?
Well, I think there's a point to it later,
She
actually.
has a baby.
Right, but there's a point to it later because she's actually speaking Spanish here, and then later on, he says like you're mooching off like hardworking people or something. So I think that's like the social message in this comic book.
Now it's getting real.
Gotcha.
It's
Now we're
fucking
real.
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vaya la policía, señora.
yeah.
Batman's actually speaking Spanish.
Yes, Batman speaks Spanish.
Batman speaks.
Batman speaks all
of
the
course.
languages.
I mean, think of all the itinerant workers he probably has working at Wayne Manor.
Exactly, he's got to be able to talk to him. And so then the creeper forgets that he's not supposed to call him BM, and he calls him BM again.
Yes.
And
Which
then,
I kind of wish Batman would just stop to be like, God damn it.
and then he hits the creeper
He
hits
beheads him with a ladder.
with a ladder. He like knocks the head thing
Yes.
off, which Batman then picks up and talks to.
Yes.
Which is great. This is a great panel because he's staring at it like,
it's just a
oh my God.
And it kind of looks like Grumpy Cat.
Yes. Yeah. But now it really looks like an animated KKK.
Oh,
head.
It really does.
It literally is.
Yeah.
And then so then he.
I don't really know what happened. In
The
this
body,
panel.
the headless body, somehow takes out the creeper and Batman.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And then he walks away
carrying his head under
with his
his arm.
goddamn head.
Yes.
This is batshit insane.
Now, so Batman, like,
Uses-
as it's walking away, he throws a batarang at it and
Gets
gets
a
a
little
piece off
scrap-
of somewhere. I'm assuming his boot,
His leg or
his
something.
leg,
Yeah.
and like snags a little piece of the paper so he can like do science on it.
Yes.
Okay. And so here's how it's figured. So Batman goes sciencing.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a very special kind of origami who just happened, the biggest dealer of this origami, or the biggest art dealer of this origami.
Oh, I thought it was the biggest collector.
Biggest collector, because because Bat's got a guy.
Yeah.
He calls this guy, and the guy's like, it just happens that the person that loves this origami is
Whetley.
Whetley.
Yeah,
Guy
the
on
TV guy. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, let's go to his house. Creeper's like, trying to crack jokes. He's like, he's going to be scared spitless.
Yeah. There is some sharp writing in
That
here.
It really is.
And all of a sudden, Creeper's hair turns gold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. All of it, his hair is gone.
Bad color on this comic.
Yeah.
Somebody
But
should get
they go
fired.
to Whetley's house.
Which
Yeah.
I love that people's bedrooms
Always
are
have a giant window. big enough
giant
for
window
people to
open in
fit
front,
through.
which great
Open.
for a breeze, terrible if you're a horrible TV doctor.
Or if you live in Gotham at all, because someone's going to break into it. Catwoman's breaking into it.
Catwoman and Batman are coming in every day.
Yeah,
Yes.
all the time.
All the time.
So they come in and they're like, Whetley, what the hell? And he's like, no, really, like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not wrong in my belief that
I'm living my life.
that everybody is destroying this, that what I'm saying is the truth and what I'm doing is right. So then, where are we here?
Then they
Yeah, I don't know where he showed. Well, no, because we figure out later, it's a psychic thing. So,
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This is all bullshit.
Right. So then they leave.
What is that ship? Is that the Batwing?
No, that looks like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh my God! It is the Star Trek Enterprise. What is it doing there?
I don't know, there's
Is it,
no-
Mark, do you see that?
I do, and there's no reason for it. It's not referenced.
Is this a crossover?
Yeah, it's a crossover.
I think it's just a.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think it's just an Easter egg.
This? Oh my God! I'm gonna call Cracked right now and talk about the 10 crossovers you did not know that ever happened.
That's right.
This is a Bill O'Reilly Star Trek crossover.
Yes.
Starring Batman and the Creeper.
Sorry, this is some great fanfic right here. Let me tell you.
So as they're leaving, Paper Guy shows up. Luckily, his head is back on his body.
Oh, thank God.
So,
Well, he took it with him.
Well, that's good for him.
And now it turns out that Jack has gotten his job back at the TV station.
Yeah.
Because he's using that as a way to lure the paper monster out of hiding.
So you got out of being security guy, which is kind of like weird because it's kind of like, imagine if like you worked at a TV station and like your security guy all of a sudden was like, yeah, I'm gonna be on TV now, and then he is.
He is. And man, have you ever seen a madder face than this woman who
No.
was hoping she was going to get the job?
She's so upset that she's running away.
Yes.
As she should.
And Wetley is furious.
Yeah,
furious.
he's shaking his fist, which you can see is denoted by these little lines. Fist shake lines.
Oh, do we have to shake lines? Oh, great. Yeah, we need
And refers to Jack Ryder as a toad. That toad.
that news toad.
Yeah. So
Truth-telling toad.
Batman has a
By the way, he's even more. Jack Ryder is even more rakish with the hat on. The
Yes.
He's
fedora.
very Don Draper in this panel.
Is he gonna go cry in front of his old whorehouse?
That's funny.
That was in the follow-up issue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically, what the plan is that he gets this job back. He goes on on TV to say that like we should all like each other and like
That's right.
Celebrate our differences.
And man, does that get the paper monster pissed
Holy
off.
Oh man!
shit.
So
How dare he?
Batman hides up in a building somewhere, and like Jack walks down the street. So the paper monster comes to get him.
He opens up a ream of whoop ass on Jack Ryder.
Oh yeah, he starts beating the shit out of poor Jack, and BM shows up.
Oh man, look at and Batman's costume was turned white. And
Oh no, because I think there's light.
No, I know. Just looks bad.
Yeah,
It does look bad.
And then man,
It's Arctic Batman. He's
yes,
jumping into
that's
snow.
right. And then look at this barrage of paper, man. That the Creeper's got to undergo, and not just there's cans and a brick.
Yeah, apparently Gotham is right by a paper factory, where it's like nothing but paper factories because there's so much fucking paper.
And now the doctor is looking on. The Wetley character is looking on. And this is the first time he's seen it until he reveals that he had dreams as a child.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He just thought they were dreams, though,
Yes.
and voices in his head. And then he starts talking about, like, he really just tried to stay in line because he didn't want people to make fun of him, and that's why he does what he does.
And then it turns out he's Firestarter.
Exactly.
He psychically wills the creature into bursting into flames.
What a bunch of goddamn.
And I don't know, it says, like, "Eeyaw," so I don't know if this creature, like, is feeling pain and, like, burning, or if this guy is screaming.
Oh yeah,
Ee-yaw.
I think that's a creature noise. Ee-yaw.
That's good to know that Batman tried to kill him as well.
Because he's
making this
realizing
thing feel
that
pain.
it's all he's wasting all the money that he spent on his origami collection,
That's right.
and that he's seeing the investment literally
Go up in
in
flames.
And so that's it.
That's literally it.
And Creeper's like, "Well, it's over." And
Yeah, and off they
Creeper's
go.
like,
Off they go
"Well,
into the streetlight.
Well, but Creeper also says he's like, but it's not really over because you can always stir up people to like hate and fear others, so it's never going to be over. Like somehow, Bats,
Yes.
I don't think it's over, and that's the end.
Right, like teasing a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Choosing a sequel that we'll never see.
Wow.
Yay.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause for this incredible crossover Star Trek, Batman, Creeper, Bill O'Reilly,
Yeah.
Fox News crossover.
Yeah, which has a Nemesis backup that we're not going to read because fuck Nemesis.
This is boring as shit.
So-
But I will maintain that the Creeper is the DC version of Deadpool.
Yeah,
He was a
definitely
template for
could
Deadpool. Rob Liefeld was reading that saying, we need our own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need our own.
Well, that was actually quite enjoyable, though.
Yes, well,
I
thank
don't
you.
remember the Creeper being quite as lame as he is in this book. By the way, the Creeper has a hallowed place in my mind.
Yes. So let me ask you this. Now we'll put it this way. Since you can read Marvel, you can read DC or Batman. Okay, Brave and the Bold. Next issue is going to be another character.
Right.
Right. But would you read another team up between Batman and the Creeper?
If we could do it in the world of Batman today, that would be great.
Yeah.
To see if they could actually up the Creeper to match today's comic realism,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That would be cool. To see another episode of this that we just read? No.
All right.
Not at all.
No.
Fold it up, put it, put it.
In fact, it would be great if in that last scene of the paper creature, it was actually panels of this comic book that the creature was made of.
I would love that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well, that's it for this book. Mark, tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely. Well, you can come to succotashshow.com. And you can see every blog piece we have on there is word for word what we have on our podcast. So all the episodes that we clip on our show, we clip comedy podcasts, and you read a short capsule of each of the things and get a link to the show. So it's really, I'm trying to provide a service where people can find out about comedy podcasts they may not know that much about.
Oh, sweet. Very cool.
It's a great service. I've learned about many shows that way too. And,
Thank you. And thanks for having me on. This was great.
Oh yeah, this was a year in the works. And we did it, so this is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever here on Sideshow Network. Shawn and Jen here recording live from tape, on tape, at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival with our another guest.
Yes.
And a very esteemed one at that. The great Chris Mancini.
Yes.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me and giving me a comic book to read.
I took a picture of you doing it because I kind of was like, how in the world did I get one of the busiest people this weekend to be like, you need to read this Spider-Man Iron Fist from 1982.
Oh, 82?
Because I'm tired of running around and putting out fires in the festival, I needed to sit for 15 minutes and do nothing. I would read a comic book.
You know what? I feel like we're doing a service here.
Yes, it was.
And thank you so much for doing this. I guess maybe I forgot to ask this. Well, we know about Mark's connection to his selection, but what kind of connection do you have to Power Man and Iron Fist, if any?
You know what? It's I've always been an Iron Fist fan. Power Man, not so much. Just something about a hero wearing a tiara. Never really did it for me.
Yeah.
But I like the mysticism and like kind of the backstory of Iron Fist, but as far as like Power Man goes, it's just like another kind of invulnerable guy running around. It didn't do as much for me.
He tells you all the time too. It's really kind of annoying. He's like, guys, steel skin. I was like, shut up.
Yeah. And I remember too when the sales were flagging for lagging, I should say, for Power Man and Iron Fist. The more popular Marvel comics, if you remember, I don't even know if you guys remember this, they would have like a one-page ad.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep, I know what you're talking
and
about.
it would start, like, well, first it would be Iron Fist, and it would say, hey, not enough of you guys are reading my book. I want you to read more of my book, and, you better do it before my partner tells you to do it, because he's not going to be as nice.
It's kind of like, well, here's the thing. First of all, the splash ad is drawn by Bill Stankiewicz, which is fantastic. But it's basically him being like kind of like whispering to you,
right?
And like he's right.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I've had a few issues. We have a few issues of that where that pops up.
We're like shaming you into reading.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Guys, we need you to read Power Man Iron Fist. I was like, I'll be okay, but Luke gets mad, and when he gets mad, he'll beat you to death.
It was a 2-part shame ad.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And then what would happen is, after that, some time would go by. Clearly, sales were not picking up. They released the second part of the ad, which was Power Man literally screaming at you in a full page, going, you guys better wise up and buy my book right now.
That reminds me of actually the very first issue of the second series of She-Hulk, where she's like, she's holding an issue, it's her on the cover, she's holding an issue of her original series, and she's like, guys, you didn't read this first one. If you don't read this new one, I will come to your house and rip up all your X-Men comics.
Yeah.
And then it got to the final issue of that series. It was like, it ran for like 60 issues. And you see her on the cover. It's like, all right, guys, X-Men comics, hand them over.
Right.
Which was a very meta series, but
right.
I digress.
And, here are the sales figures. Clearly, you're not doing your part.
No. So in this particular issue, this is Power Man and Iron Fist, Power Man Fist 81.
From May.
Maybe number 81, 1982. May 1982. So I was 2 years old.
Now, it says 60 cents on the cover, but really, what's it worth now? It's got to have gone up in value.
What, to the dollar that we spent on it?
So, they start out with basically Power Man, Iron Fist hanging out in the Heroes for Hire office.
Right.
Talking to some dude.
Clearly the attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their attorney about...
Fascinating.
Yes. And they're just like, oh, blah, 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 whatever. And then...
And the attorney's a little slimy. That's what's so weird.
Oh, yeah, it's so
Shocking,
strange.
yeah. Shocking. This bejowled man
Yes.
is on the shade.
The only difference is he just didn't say babe. Yeah.
Yeah, surprise.
So he brings in a new client for them.
Yes.
And their new client is Abe Brown. And Abe...
With experienced memory loss.
Yeah, he's having some problems.
But what does it matter to them? Who cares? I mean,
But they're hiring the hero.
to what? To find his lost memory? Did he lose a hard drive or something?
What, you want
He
to?
lost his flash drive.
There's what's funny is like how much they skip over, like assuming you've read every other comic that happened before. Like clearly they have a history. It's never mentioned. Oh, you remember blah blah blah? Sure.
I was in this group where I was in a group with a bunch of guys, and I was in an a cappella group where I used to punch people, and you kind of remember me, and then we broke up.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
like, I was sad because we broke up, so like I went to the airport, and then they have this very weird panel where he's talking about what happened and how he ran into a woman at the airport, and she just said, what did she say here? Like,
She says, I'm called Brilliant.
Brilliant, she who glistens.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like,
Well-
you never see that again.
Well, I was wondering, like, I'm thinking, well, clearly I'm missing some of these references, or was this like an Easter egg, or is this going to come back later, 6 issues from now? You know, you don't know. There's a
Probably
couple
gets
things in
canceled
there.
before we actually figure out what happened. So he's talking about how he went...
Did we try to Google Brilliant?
Oh, she's probably. We'll have to look. Yeah, we'll have to look. I'll have to look her up later.
Yeah.
And see. She's probably in the Marvel wiki somewhere, as like literally appears in this issue and nothing else.
Yeah,
Never
but
shows
she
up
could be
again.
she might be under the Marvel wiki as airport patron.
Lady buying donut at counter.
It's on her IMDb page.
So basically he gets on this plane. Somebody jacks the plane.
Yep.
And he
crashes.
It crashes, and he.
Oh no, my favorite part is somebody jacks the plane. The pilots get killed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it crashes, and he blacks out, and he wakes up in a hospital.
Yeah, that's
Because
it.
he basically somehow survives.
Apparently he says it came to about 10 weeks later.
Yes, 10
It's a
weeks
long
later,
ass
yeah.
time. And some,
That's
like,
quite a coma.
Yeah. In some hospital, I can't remember. So what he wants to do now is hire these guys to go over and stop this country from extraditing him for committing a bunch of crimes, but this country's not actually telling him what those crimes were.
No.
Which is helpful. I think they usually have to tell you.
Nope.
That's
That's how the government worked back then.
Yeah.
And apparently, especially for a made-up country,
Yep.
which is called Hawan.
Yeah.
Because the issue of this cover of this book is basically, so just to describe this real quick, it's Power Man and Iron Fist on the cover.
Now, it's
and
nowhere near Latveria, right?
I think it's either that or it's near, it's wherever Metropolis and Central City meet. It's somewhere in the middle there.
So
it's like Luxembourg. It's like a small.
Right?
Yeah. So basically the cover is them going. Danny's going, Luke, you sure this is the road to Halwan? And Power Man, for some reason, his shirt's been shredded.
Yeah.
And they're in the desert, and they're like, maybe we made a wrong turn somewhere. And
so that's
it's
the
the road to Halwan. It's like one of those Bob Hope movies.
Yeah.
The road to Halwan.
Well, clearly his shirt's always going to get shredded because it's only half there to begin with.
Yeah, he is rocking the deep V.
Yeah.
Also the
that's-
chain belt, which I have to say is hilarious.
Well, that's always been his calling.
But so they're going to again, here we are in an airport. They're walking through the airport, and for some reason their lawyer is coming with them. And but he's horribly racist because he continues to refer to Power Man as boy, which is horrible. So they're walking through the airport, not really doing a whole hell of a lot. And then,
okay. So here's okay. So they're about to get on this plane. For some reason, they're still carrying the luggage. I mean, I'm assuming this is a private plane.
Yes, it is a private plane to Luxembourgia or whatever they're going.
Luxembourg, Latveria.
Yeah.
It's the Latveria airline. It's Latverian Airlines. You basically have to walk and take everything with you. They don't have. They can't afford it.
There's no baggage compartment in the airplane.
Yeah, and as they're walking to it, so out of nowhere comes a forklift.
Yeah.
That's driving at an enormously quick pace for a forklift.
For a forklift.
Yeah, that has a rocket engine in it.
It's powered by plutonium. Just for this one day, the only rocket the only plutonium-powered forklift in all of ever is here to attack Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And so Power Man, thankfully, uses his bulletproof skin or whatever the hell he does to stop it.
Oh, no, but he tells you about his bulletproof skin in every scene.
I missed that.
He's got to let you know, just in case you forgot.
I'm invulnerable. Just every time he
Just
does
FYI.
something that doesn't hurt him, he goes, I'm invulnerable. Well, clearly, something didn't hurt you. We know you're invulnerable.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Do you think his eyes are invulnerable? Can you poke him in the eye?
No. Only invulnerable.
Only invulnerable skin, he said.
Oh,
that was
skin.
it.
Well,
So
maybe.
he's got an Achilles heel.
You could probably take his eyes out.
All right, yeah. So
Thumbs.
hopefully that
A
happens.
lot of thumb action.
My favorite part's coming up, though.
So like the forklift driver like falls off, whatever, and then they're like, we're gonna fight.
And
And then the forklift driver starts pulling out ninja weapons.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite part in the comic book. He says, okay, now I can't take you with my blade. Now let's see how you fare against shuriken throwing stars. Now, shuriken in Japanese means throwing stars. That is my favorite part.
That's
That's
amazing.
like, that's like, say, that movie, Manos, Hands of Fate.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is fantastic. I also like that the fact that this is like somehow. I want to know how this guy got to like. Is he like a guy that was posing as like a one of those baggage guys? Like he's not even dressed like a baggage guy. Somehow
He's wearing like jeans.
He's got generic 80s thug attire.
Yeah, absolutely.
with throwing stars in his belt.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't comfortable. I mean, because think about it, he already fell off. You think those throwing stars in his belt probably would have like gave him like a
Punctured him or something.
Yeah, punctured him or something.
He did get thrown off a quick-moving forklift.
Do you think he had to like get his license to be able to drive?
Does he have his Class C license? These are questions I
That's
need
a
to know.
really good question.
So Danny takes him out, and they're like, you get the kind of obligatory. I think this happens probably every fight they have where they go, good job, man. They do like the Predator handshake,
Right.
With the,
I have to say, Iron Fist's little ballet flats are just the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in a comic book. Because they're like those little shooty things that are like barely on his foot, and they look so elegant and pretty. It just cracks me up.
So my question is, these are some sort of samurai-esque kind
I'm
of
sure.
shoes. Does Graham know about these?
He should,
Graham
although
probably owns,
also
like,
the
4
other
pairs.
thing that helps your martial arts is a Dracula hood.
Oh yes, I forgot.
Oh yeah, that cuts off your peripheral vision.
Yeah, you can't see anywhere
Not
near
only
you.
does he have that, but he's also got a mask with black with his peripheral vision. So he's got like the Batman like eye lenses covered in eye dark.
Yeah.
So I mean, how does he see anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
No wonder they didn't see that forklift coming at them 5,000 miles an hour.
He also wears like a culotte kind of, where it just like cuts it instead of going all the way down. It just like cuts right at
It's
the
a very
calf.
summery outfit.
It is. It's very
I'm
summer.
sure it's very comfortable.
Yeah, it's very nice. So they fly.
Now, here's my other favorite part. You're flying overseas.
Yes.
You're a superhero. Maybe you may have another outfit that you may want to travel in and when you're on an airplane.
No, you want to wear the clothes you just fought in.
Yeah, especially when you're wearing a mask. It's like, sir, could I get you anything? It's like, can I get you another mask, a fresh mask, any fresh Dracula hood?
Do you need more eye black?
Sir, would you like your tiara polished for the trip?
Would you like your belt polished there, Luke? Would you like your boots yellowed more? Well, here's my point of that is that they are heroes for hire.
Yes.
So they're in the phone book. You already know what you're getting when you hire them. So you just assume that this is their work outfit. So they're dressed like
this is uniforms.
This is their outfit. Like if they're businessmen, they're wearing suits. They don't need to wear.
It's like a Best Buy blue shirt.
Right.
Yes.
And like you'd think that they wouldn't want to draw attention to themselves. They're going to another country to do something, whatever.
On a
hero-y.
diplomatic mission.
Exactly. So instead of having like a spy who would call up and be like, dude, I just saw these guys coming. Nope. you would go like incognito, but these guys, no, dedicated.
You know they're coming.
Dedicated to the costume.
And this was like the attempt of being edgy too. They're heroes for hire. They don't have consciences. Who knows what they're going to do? They're going to be heroes for the highest bidder.
They're going to get some money. So and actually, their costumes completely fail them.
Oh, yeah.
Because as soon as they get off the plane, a bunch of these guys in this country are like, well, okay, well, we're going to attack you. We're going to arrest you. And they take their lawyer for some reason. I don't exactly know.
And now, of course, Luke Cage gets shot.
And he's like,
then he gives an explanation.
Bulletproof skin.
He's like, shots. So I always think of that LMFAO song. He's like, shots. And they're like, oh man, thank God for your bulletproof skin. I would have been dead. And then, and so after that, somehow they dispatch these cats. Yeah. And there's a crowd. What is this crowd doing here on the tarmac?
Yeah, but they weren't there in the previous scenes.
No, they weren't.
It's a flash mob. They flash mobbed the airport.
Somebody tweeted it was just like doing a flash mob at the airplane.
But they pull off. Okay, so they get off and there's like a building.
I'm surprised they didn't put a bubble in there. One of the people in the mob goes, "That guy's got invulnerable skin."
So is this an improv flash mob? Or are they going to?
Yeah.
You think they're
it's an improv troupe.
Do you think that they were just there to maybe break into like a thriller dance troupe?
Yes. Yeah.
And then.
World's largest airplane flash mob. That's what they were going for.
Because clearly it's an airport, and yet everyone seems to be on the tarmac.
Yeah, because that's where you go.
Yeah, and especially if you're in an airport and you see something happening outside, that's where you would run to find out what's going on. Is They're
like, I think the Starbucks is this way, guys, and then they're just all like, go start.
Guys, we gotta go to the tarmac Starbucks.
And then it's like. My favorite part then after that is that, what should we do? Run. And, you're on a runway in an airport. Where would you possibly run to that there's actually cover?
Let's run underneath the other plane.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do. And somehow it works.
Yep.
Somehow, okay, so where do they go where this girl that comes out of nowhere is like, guys.
This is weird because right back here it looks like the door to a plane, sort of. Maybe. I don't really know what this is behind them. And then this woman appears.
A mysterious benefactor.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's like, hey, guys. So, if you come with me, I can totally show you, where your lawyer is.
Yes, because he's been so helpful so far.
Yeah, which I think you'd probably just want to leave him there, because kind of a dick.
Why do they need to get him?
Yeah, let's,
Why did he come in the first place? Except to be kidnapped.
You guys, they can literally go home.
Let him be the system's problem.
Right.
Yeah. He's the one that brought you there to try to stop the extradition of that guy.
Right. And they only hired Power Man and Iron Fist. They didn't hire this weird lawyer. He's just coming along for the ride. So you just leave him there. It's
He's
fine.
collateral damage. Forget him.
Yeah.
He knew the risks.
So they follow this girl and she takes them to this fancy mansion.
Yeah.
And they go around, start slapping around guards.
Well, you also have to say that the guards are all the Iron Sheik.
Oh yeah, clearly,
Yes.
It's good to see him getting work.
Yeah.
And this guy got his hand on the sharp part of the blade.
Oh yeah.
Guards, that's the attention stance of the guards.
What's going on? Oh, my fingers. I have none.
Now I know this was before everything was drawn on computers, but doesn't it look like this character was just kind of photoshopped over here, just made smaller?
Yeah.
Just one guard that they kind of.
Oh, they totally cut and paste that out and just kind of moved it around. Yeah, no, that was Jim Shooter back in the day was very smart.
Yeah.
He did a lot of that.
Except this guard was actually just smarter because he's not cutting off his own fingers.
Right.
So,
He's just holding onto the shaft. The other guy's he's like, man, that guy's. He's looking at him like, you're weird, dude. Why you got this thing where you try to keep cutting?
Bro, I don't want to take you to the hospital again.
I don't have it. You don't have health insurance. I don't have any cash.
We are contract. So they bust in and start busting heads. And, obviously here's Luke Cage smashing people's heads together.
He's smashing their heads, and then what shows up is another helpful person.
Yeah, that lady's gone, by the way. Lady's gone.
She never returns. She just helps for a few minutes, and then
gone.
she's got other things to do.
And now somebody else is here to help them.
And it's some guy, a boy dancer. Yells out. He says he's a dancer. He says he's a dancer.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm one of the king's dancers, and when I'm not dancing, nobody pays attention to me. The saddest life.
That guy needs a therapist.
Such a shame.
Literally, he's like, I am not I have no other existence but to dance.
Now, I would think there was some kind of where he goes take me with you when you leave.
Right.
But there's
You assume that would happen.
Oh, this guy doesn't care either. Yeah,
No.
he's like, oh, all right, I'll go back to my non-existent existence.
And what's weird, he's like, here, follow me, follow me, follow me. And then he takes them to the Sheik's harem.
Yes.
It's like, hey, check it out, chicks. So maybe he's not really a dancer. Maybe he's a pimp.
Maybe
Maybe
and
he's a
then,
very young one.
this is my favorite part. Again, I know I have a lot of favorite parts in this comic. Is then
the best
there,
comic, that's why.
there are 2 other secret agents already there. Also, not really in costume.
No.
Wait, which ones?
These dudes.
Oh, those dudes? I thought that was the guards again.
It was one girl, and then it was like a secret agent team from Russia.
Oh.
Okay.
Ninotchka.
Oh, a Gymkhana, yeah.
And then, of course, a Russian agent. And that means the partner can't be far behind, which is the giant one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
Boris. Of course it's Boris.
Of course it's Boris. There are no other
Boris
Russian
and
names.
Natasha, yeah. So a brawl breaks out, and wait, well, here's the good part. You missed the part where he kicks
A silk.
He kicks a silk thing. He's like, in a second, as soon as I hit the
But he's
silk.
Power Man because when you are Power Man and you kick a silk with such force,
Yeah.
it's the same as a freight train hitting you.
Absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like it's like lead that hits your face.
Yeah,
you might as well.
very comfortable piece of lead.
His kicking actually changes the substance.
That was the thing that the Marvel Wiki did. That was the thing that hopefully maybe when he shows up in the Jessica Jones issue, or the
The TV show?
the TV show, that maybe they'll bring in that his kicking transmutes properties of things that he kicks.
Transmutation.
He's like Firestorm, but with kicking.
No, you know what? I'm looking at this now. I think we got it wrong. That was the dance area. Now we're going into the harem area.
Oh, so were those also dancers?
They're separate, but here's the best part.
They look the same?
It's a different area. So we're done with the dancers.
Okay,
now we're in the harem.
Yeah,
We're at the the fancy word for it, seraglio.
Sure.
Sure.
And then what happens here is the Sheik asks them to dance anyway.
Yes.
Coming up.
Okay, well, hang on. We got to figure out here. So they're here.
They're in the harem. With
And they're
the
just
chicks.
here. They're just here.
Yeah.
Now,
Here comes the Sheik.
the Sheik's coming.
And he has
But-
a really creepy looking butler.
Yes.
It's Alfred.
Yeah.
But, okay, here's the
Alfred played by Paul Lind, maybe?
Yeah, it does look like Paul Lynn.
thing. Alfred paid by Paul Lind.
Yeah. Paul Lynn for the block.
But my question is, okay, so he shows up into this room, and the Sheik's like, I need women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need new ones. All these ones, so I need something new and fresh.
Yeah.
And you bore me with all these regular women.
He's basically like Hugh Hefner, where he's like been so overstimulated, he needs
Yes,
the weirdest
he
shit
needs
he can
something-
find.
And he finds it.
Because right now, Power Man and Iron Fist are
What will they do?
camouflaged.
How will they possibly blend in?
So they're just basically like wearing sheets.
But why? They did not have to.
They could have hidden underneath a
They
bed.
didn't have to do
Right.
anything. They could have gotten out of that room.
Oh no, this is great. This comic book now turns into a Three Stooges episode.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. But they didn't have to do this at all. I'm trying to figure out why. Like, this is something that they went, like somebody went either. I'm assuming Luke,
Yeah.
or Danny. One of them just went.
Yeah, it just makes you think of Curly going, "Oh, fresh."
He just went. We gotta dress up as women.
Yeah.
This has to happen
It's the
now.
only way it's gonna happen. This is what I want to draw. There was fighting with the editors back and forth.
They're like, Fred Armisen does it all the time.
Fred Armisen, who makes a fantastic woman on Portlandia. I was just commenting on this today. It's like he probably read this and said, "You know what?
Good idea.
It's like Kids in the Hall. They're literally women, like every other sketch."
So like the Sheik points out Luke Cage and Iron
Yes.
Fist. It's like, come over here.
And makes them dance.
And makes
That's
them
great.
dance.
But we're not in the dancing troupe. This is the. We'll just why don't you have the dancers
Oh,
dance?
they actually dance. I forgot.
Yeah,
They
they
actually-
dance.
What a bunch of geeks.
They do a dance. And like, Power Man is such a gigantic, manly looking man.
Imagine a black Vin Diesel doing an Arabian dance in yellow boots.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what he does. And of course, like, I don't know, I think it's Iron Fist steps on Power Man's sheet.
Right.
Which pulls it off his head, even though he is wearing a tiara, which is very pretty.
Right.
And of course, then it's like, oh my god, their dudes killed him.
And of course, it's the best line. You're not girls.
You couldn't tell? Yeah, literally Terry Crews wearing a tiara,
pretty
and you're
much.
like, wait a minute, I don't understand. I am confused. I am the dumbest man ever.
And the Sheik's like, you know what, it's all right. But then these guys decide to kill him instead. So they fight.
And he makes, of course, there's a bunch of Last Dance jokes and stuff, and it's like, all right,
And it's the same guards that were at the airport. So
yeah, a bunch of losers. Oh, that's right. No, he gets hit with his. I think I missed this where they hit him with the sword and it breaks.
Yep, steel
Because
skin.
do swords really break like that?
Well, if you didn't know,
when you hit steel skin,
he
sure.
has steel skin.
But have you ever hit, like, if you took a sword and hit it against like a steel ship, would it shatter?
No, it's the harmonics of steel skin. What happens? It vibrates at a certain frequency that when other metal hits it, it actually shatters.
It's like the Titanic and an iceberg.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That was actually very plausible explanation for my question. I was like, I wasn't expecting it, and I go, oh, okay. Oh, you're right. We'll leave it at that.
You know what? Yeah.
We'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Chris knows science. So they like fight, and then is this the Russian agent who shows back up? Because they
Yes.
all look the same.
It's Boris.
Yeah, it's Boris. He's back. I think I was talking to Kevin Pollak about like the Iron Man suit. He's like, when he falls down, he's going really fast. If he crashes to the ground, how does he not die? And I said, well, the suit has inertial dampeners in it to protect his body. And he just looks at me like, well, I just made that up. But it's like, it could work. It could work.
Totally
Yeah.
could work. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically they get forced to walk to the plank, and
They're like running from these dudes, and they come to what they always have in these castles.
A pit trap.
Which is a pit trap with the spikes at the bottom.
Right.
This is like ubiquitous.
which just happens to be in some hallway that they're going to, because they knew
It's a high traffic hallway.
My favorite part too is that it's drawn in such a way.
by the break room.
Well, it's right by the break room, but it's drawn in such a way that you can tell someone has hung a shield with
over
swords
it.
like over the pit. So someone had to get a ladder and hang that shit.
or something like
and put plywood over it first, so they could put the ladder there to actually put the shield up.
Or just a really long ladder.
Or maybe it was, and it's there specifically to mark where the pit is.
Oh, yeah.
So people don't fall into it by
So
mistake.
when you're going to the break
Yeah.
room to get your coffee,
Of course, these two idiots run right into it,
they're like, ah.
and that's it.
Oh no, there's another page.
We got this picture of Dazzler looking really angry. Is she yelling us to read her book too?
No, she probably wants you to, and that's another one that no one really...
No, she's saying, "Hi kids, read my book," but she's got like her eyes are blazing like she's Linda Blair.
And she's got enormous cleavage.
Enormous
well,
tits.
yeah, yeah.
That's why you should read her book.
Yes.
So then,
That's it.
wait, there's something here. Hold on. Because, I don't understand what just happened. Because they get to the edge,
Yeah.
right?
Right now they're trapped.
They get so did they? And they just turned around.
They turned around, yeah.
The way it looks like they came through a door.
It really
And these
does.
guys are standing in the pit.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think, this like I was looking at this too. I'm like, shouldn't the pit be like right behind
Right.
them? And I don't know if
It looks like they just went through a
there's
door.
a continuity issue here.
Yeah.
Unless the pit is around the corner, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like to see a blueprint of this building, please.
Yes.
I need that completion. I will consult my Marvel wiki.
And next is the Secret of the Black Tiger. Now, do you guys go in order? Like the next guest will do the next
No.
one?
no,
we go
we
out of
basically.
order.
So what we do now is now that we've read this book,
We're gonna ask you.
We're going to ask you: would you read the next issue of
Based
this comic
on what
book
you just
based
read
on
here?
What we just did.
You know what? I'm a sucker, so I would, but I wouldn't feel good about myself.
Oh, okay. You'd be like, I have to know what happens in this stupid story.
Well, I want to find out if any of the little Easter eggs pay off. Like there was somebody watching them on the airplane too.
Oh, yeah,
They'd never
yeah.
even seen me, but she got like glistening skin.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure, was that the person that he bumped into in line, or
good
was
question.
is it another secret agent?
I got to look that Marvel wiki up because I wonder if she literally just shows up and it's just because they were like, oh, we got this idea, and they're like, all right, Jim Shooter's like, all right, we'll just throw it in there. I don't care.
I think what actually happens is that her and Luke Cage get married because he's got bulletproof skin, she's got glistening skin, and that's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
this is
great. They're a great
Oh, so
couple.
it's a marriage next issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Wedding
couple. It's
issue,
a wedding
okay.
issue, yeah.
I know, yeah.
It's the
He
season
gives
finale.
her his tiara.
It's a really big ring for your head.
Yeah.
Well, that's Power Man and Iron Fist number 81 from May 1982.
Yes.
And that is it for this episode.
And well, actually, I was going to say, Chris, co-founder of the LA Podfest, which we are here right now. Earbuds premiered this weekend. How's it going so far?
It's going great. We got like some of the technical issues worked out we had on Friday with the live stream, and people are loving the shows, and the reception of the movie's been fantastic.
So
and
good.
Everyone's saying they've been tearing up through it, which is great because the best compliment we got was that it felt like a podcast where you're laughing one minute and you're feeling emotion the next, and then you're laughing and you're feeling emotion, and it was just really memorable. So that was really cool. That's what we're going for.
There's a lot of content in there that just like it kind of floors you when you're like, oh man, there's that's real.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's real, and that's a lot of really what represents what podcasting is
Yeah.
as a whole. So
And, you can see Shawn and Jen in it.
Yeah.
And our
See them-
cat, by
and
the
your
way.
cat, yes.
we were very happy to get the cat.
cat.
My other question, so obviously this went very well this year. Fourth
Yes.
year of the LA Podfest, planning on a fifth.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. We're already talking to Audible about coming back next year, but we'll get out in front of it a little bit more. One of the issues we had, one of the expansion plans we had, is that we want to expand the festival way past comedy, get more NPR and some other bigger shows
Right.
in. But the Audible came on board a little late for us to make offers to those shows, and they were already booked. So
Okay.
there was a lot of shows we couldn't get that we wanted to.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get out in front a little bit more next year and be able to book these shows before they book up, because some of the public radio and NPR shows, they book up 9-10 months in advance.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
you
can't.
got to hop on those things. Some of those
So-
just some of those folks. I mean,
And everyone was interested in doing it too. That's what was so great. The reception's always great. It was like, oh man, I can't. I'm not just not available. So.
Yeah.
So that's what we're excited about too, getting a lot of these shows that we've wanted to get in, but now we can afford them, and now we just got to get to them earlier.
Cool.
right on.
So Chris, where else can people find you online?
The main place is comedyfilmnerds.com. That's where we are, and then we're also on Facebook and Twitter, and I have my own personal website, chrisjmancinionline.com. I have a blog there that I never update, but it does have tour dates and some links to some other things. But the main place is comedyfilmnerds.com.
Cool.
Great. And you can find me on Twitter at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN, and that's my Instagram as well, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I am at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, jenstansfield.wordpress.com, where starting this week I will be reviewing Gotham once again, along with my Gilmore Girls reviews.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for listening, folks, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.